Impact of deficit financing.
We wrote deficit financing and deficit demand. Just check it. Okay, deficit financing we did, and after that we did the excess demand as following effect. This we started deficit demand or not? We only did this deficit financing till here.
Yes, number the decrease in propensity to consume, increase in taxes. That was the last one. This one.
This one, na? Which one? I'm not getting it.
One can you scroll up?
Yeah. Deficit financing is here. We did this. These are the reasons for excess demand. We did it.
Yes.
So I think we wrote till deficit financing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So from we have to start from impact of deficit financing, if I'm not wrong, right? We did it. I think this is the last point. Check it. Supply caused by deficit financing. What is the last line you wrote?
Ma'am, it is fall in exports.
Foreign exports. Okay, got the point. Yeah, you did this, right? We have to start from impact of deficit demand. Fall in export, right? This one. So let's just wait for one more minute. I don't know why. Maybe it's a network issues or something. Then we'll start. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Eva.
Ma'am, I have mentioned that my keyboard is starting this time.
Yeah, I got it. Just a minute. Can you just a minute? I'll just check. I got the. You shared it with your counselor, right? Okay, to me. Okay, wait. I'll just check. Yeah, I got the date. So when you have your exam?
Accountancy is on 8.
Wait, I'll check.
Heba,
Heba, you shared it on group. Where you shared?
I have sent it to you personally.
But from Heba, I'm searching Heba and I'm not getting anything. From any other number you shared? I saw it. No, you shared it to your counselor. He shared it with me. Okay. My number is from 97. Okay, let me check. Okay, 12th class. So it's starting from 24th of this November, right? So you have your
December.
Next month, right? So what is the syllabus here? You shared the syllabus with me?
The syllabus, I have shared it before.
No, he shared it with me, only the date sheet. Okay, I'll ask him to. Okay, what I'm doing, I'm just dropping you a high text after the class. Okay, you can share it with me directly. Okay?
Ma'am, I have sent a message.
Okay, I'll just check it. Okay? Okay. Okay, Mariam, Muhammad Ayan, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Okay, so let's just start with the topic. So today we'll just finish off this. So basically what we started with deficit demand and we did the reasons of for deficit demand, right? Now we have to start like, ma'am, what is the impact of deficit demand on the economy? Okay, so impact of deficit demand. So it will be hashtag, right? Next hashtag will be this impact of deficit demand. So deficit demand in the economy due to its inflationary nature. Why there is a deficit demand? Due to inflationary nature, right? It creates adversely effect to the level of output, employment, and this. So what you will write? You will just write this impact of deficit demand. Then you will write first effect on output. So due to lack of sufficient aggregate demand, there will be an increase in inventory stock. Okay, it will force the firm to plan a lesser production for the subsequent period. As a result, planned output will fall. Okay, so now you have to just compare it. When we were doing excess demand over here, effect on output, there was no effect on output because at full level of employment I will not do anything, right? But over here, what will I do? I will decrease it, right? Because nobody is purchasing it. It is deficit demand, so nobody is purchasing it. So why I will produce? I will stop my production. Okay, so planned output will fall. Second, effect on employment. Deficit demand cause inventory unemployment in the economy due to fall in the planned output. See, now, for example, earlier I have 4 persons who were working in my industry, in my company, right? But now nobody is purchasing, so I don't need any production. I have stopped my production, so I will fire them. I will say that I don't need much people. Please, I'll just fire them. Okay, and I'll ask them to resign. Right. So because of this, what will happen? Unemployment will be there. Right. And now, effect on the general price level. Deficit demand causes the general price to fall due to lack of demand for GNS's goods and services in the economy. Clear?
Yes.
We will write impact of deficit demand and first, second, and third.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's just start with the next thing. So now this chapter is all about excess demand and the deficit demand. Okay. Now over here, like we will discuss what we studied. First of all, we did excess demand and deficit demand. We did impact, right, of both the things, and the graph, right? Graph for both. Now it's like these are the problems, right? So now you'll be like, ma'am, how can we correct excess demand? And how can we correct the deficit excess and the deficit demand? Okay, so basically there are two measures. One is your fiscal policy measure and one is your monetary policy measure. Okay, so monetary policy, if you will remember, when we were doing banking chapter, there I asked you how bank control the excess demand. They ever did the excess demand or the inflationary situation, inflation, right? So everything is same. So we will not repeat that because we have already done. So you will be referring those notes. Like we will be writing everything in short here. We won't be going in too much depth because monetary policy is basically the money policy to control money supply, how banks do. So we, if you people remember, when we were doing the banking chapter, we did that, ma'am. One is quantitative and other one is qualitative, right? Quantitative, if you remember, repo rate, bank rate, reverse repo rate, open market operations, LRR, remember? And qualitative was your that marginal point, and it was like moral suasion, right? And a control of credit, selective credit control. Remember, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Yes.
Yes.
So these are basically the part of monetary. Monetary means money, right? But fiscal policies are something new, so which we will be discussing, right? So now it's the question is hashtag policy measures to control excess demand and deficit demand. So basically there are two policy measures. One is fiscal policy measure and other is monetary policy. So first of all, we will do fiscal and then we will do monetary. So ma'am, what is fiscal? See, fiscal policy refers to the budgetary policy of the government or the policy related to revenue and expenditure of the government. Fiscal year, if you remember, this also we have done like the government revenue and government expenditure, but we have not done in situation when there will be excess demand. So that's why we'll just do this. Okay. So fiscal policy, whenever the term comes fiscal policy, just remember that budget part. Budget chapter over there we did revenue, expenditure, everything. So this will be doing. So fiscal policy refers to budgetary policy of the government or the policy related to revenue and expenditure of the government with a view to correct the situation of excess demand or the deficit demand in the economy. So ma'am, how will you correct the fiscal policy? Fiscal this. So these are the instrument. Instrument means tools that will help, right? If I'll ask you what are the instrument of monetary policy, you will say ma'am this quantitative and qualitative, repo rate, bank rate, reverse repo rate. These are the instruments. So similarly for this, instrument are government revenue, government spending or government revenue and government expenditure. Okay, government revenue have three types: taxes, public debt, and deficit finance. Okay, clear? Yes, no. Okay, these are the tools. So we will study them one by one. So now instrument of fiscal policy. So first of all, we will do this government revenue part and then we will do government expenditure. So government revenue have three things. One is your tax, other is your public debt and other is your deficit financing. So coming to tax. Tax, ma'am, what is tax? Tax is a compulsory payment to the government according to the prescribed law. Taxes are of two types, direct tax and the indirect tax. Okay, we have already done what is direct tax and indirect tax. Okay, now second is public debt or borrowing. Okay, so it refers to the borrowing by the government for which public through the issuing securities. Next is deficit financing. Ma'am, what is deficit financing? It refers to issuing of more currency to meet the budgetary deficit. It increases the money supply in the economy. Clear? Deficit financing is, for example, I'm unable. I had 100 rupees, but when I went for my birthday party and all that, I spent it 200 rupees. So this extra 100 rupees is basically I'll take money from someone to cover this deficit. So that is known as deficit financing. Okay. Now coming to, so we already discussed all the 3 points. What are taxes, what are public debt, and what are deficit financing. Now we'll discuss what are government expenditures. Okay. So ma'am, what are government expenditure? So fiscal instrument related to government expenditure or government spending. So basically, public work programs like construction of road, dam, bridge, flyovers, building. They are government expenditure. Government is giving the money, right? Then education and public welfare program, defense of the country and maintenance of law and order, provision of subsidies to producers to encourage production. So these are the areas where government spend money. Government is not spending money on parties and all that. Government is spending the money on the public, and these are the areas. Clear? Yes, no.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so first of all, these are the explanations. So first of all, you will write this. What you are going to write? Wait, let me just erase everything so that you people can write. Okay, so ma'am, what is this? So first of all, you will write hashtag policy measure to control excess demand and deficit demand. And over here only, you will just make it like this. You will write this and then you will make it like this. Okay, first you will write fiscal policy here, and then here this monetary policy measures. Clear? You will draw it like this, and after that you will write fiscal policy meaning. Then you will write the entire paragraph. Then hashtag instrument of fiscal policy. These are the instruments. Clear? Then you will write explanation of instrument of fiscal policy. So A, this is your A, okay, and this is your B. Okay, over here A, this you will write first, this is your second, and this is your third. So A, you'll write the heading government revenue. Taxes are this. Public debt is this. Deficit is this. Then B is your the government expenditure in these areas. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Okay. So first write this.
Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Everyone done till here? Mohammedan done?
Yes, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Mariam done? Okay. Now we are going to do fiscal measures to correct excess demand and the deficit demand. Okay. So these are the measures. You already know what are taxes, what are public debt and everything. Okay. So let's just discuss. So you have to correct first excess demand and then the so right now we are discussing about excess demand or the inflationary gap. Okay. So taxes. A compulsory pay. So again, you will not write the definition. Okay, you will simply write to control excess demand. The government should impose new taxes and raise the rate of existing taxes. Okay. Second, because of this, what will happen? It will reduce the disposal income because, for example, if you have 100 rupees with you, right? And out of 100 rupees, if you are paying 80 rupees tax, then definitely your disposal income is like going down. You have 100 rupees. Out of this 100 rupees, you are paying 80 rupees tax. Earlier, you were paying 20 rupees tax. So, of course, now people will have less money, so they will demand less. Because of this, what will happen? Consumption by the household sector and the investment by producer sector will fall. Aggregate demand is reduced and excess demand is corrected. So this is how you will do with the help of text. So you will not write the definition because you have already read. You will write fiscal measures. First of all, you will give a heading this fiscal measures to control excess demand or inflationary gap. Okay. Then over here you will write fiscal measure related to government revenue. Okay. Then you will write taxes and to control excess demand. These are the points. Clear? Clear?
Ma'am, can you say one more time?
Okay, see, what you have to write, you have to first give the heading this hashtag fiscal measures to correct excess demand or inflationary gap. Okay, then you will write this first fiscal measure related to government revenue. Okay, then you will write tax. Okay, you can write A here and over here one tax. Don't write the definition, you already know the definition. Then to write tax to control excess demand and these points that government should, what should government do with the help of tax? Government should increase the tax. So that earlier, if you have 100 rupees with you and you were paying 20 rupees tax, so 80 rupees you were spending a lot of money and you were demanding. But now if I'll increase the tax, this 20 rupees to 80 rupees. So now you have to pay 80 rupees tax and you have only 20 rupees. So you will demand less. So that's why you will correct the excess demand. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, next is public debt or borrowing. Okay, so ma'am, how come you can reduce the public debt and the borrowing? So public debt or borrowing, it refers to the borrowing by the government by issuing certain securities. So again, you will not write the definition because you have already written it down. Now, to control the excess demand. So what should government do? The government should increase public debt or borrowing. It will reduce the disposal income, consumption by household sector and the investment by producer sector will fall and aggregate demand is reduced and excess demand is correct. Clear? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now deficit. Sorry, Heba, not clear. Heba, not clear. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Deficit fine. Okay. Deficit financing. It refers to issue of new currency by the government. Okay, this already you know to control excess demand. What you will do? Government should reduce deficit finance. Right? You have aggregate demand, so you should reduce the deficit financing. Because of this, what will happen? It will reduce the supply of the money. It will reduce the disposal income. Consumption by household sector and the investment by producer sector will fall and aggregate demand will reduce and excess demand is corrected. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now this fiscal measures related to government expenditure or government spending. Now these were the point for government revenue. But now coming to government expenditure. So what you will do, first of all, to control excess demand, the government should reduce its expenditure on non-development and unproductive work. Because of this, what will happen? It will reduce the supply of money. It will reduce the level of aggregate demand, the income, aggregate demand in the economy, and it will help to correct excess demand or the inflationary pressure in the economy. Clear? Clear? No? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Heba?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's just start. Be very quick, okay? Just write hashtag fiscal this till here. And after that, write fiscal measures related to government revenue and just mark it like this. Okay, then taxes to control excess demand. In 10 minutes, you have to complete writing, so be very quick.
Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Everyone done?
Yes, ma'am.
This is B, fiscal measure related to government expenditure or government spend. Then you will write to control excess demand. Then this part.